Hey everybody, it's me, Undead Viking. I'm here with a video review for you, like I normally have. The game I'm going to show you today is called Horrible Hex. Now, this is an abstract two-player game. Yes, that's right, an abstract game, and only two-player. Two things that I probably would have guessed I may have never, ever done a review for, because I'm not a big fan of abstracts. And I don't have a chance to play a lot of two-player games. And if you had asked me when I started doing these videos, like, a while back, like 5 years ago now, it seems like, I probably would have said that that's probably never going to happen. But I've kind of come around a little bit. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and I'm playing games that I normally wouldn't. And plus, if you've been watching what I've been doing lately, I've been playing a lot of two-player games lately, just basically because it's been tough to get people together to play games, as it is. So, this is a game, as you can probably guess, it has hexes. And the hexes are these little cardboard hexagons that you see here. And on the other side of these hexagons, they have ones that have a star on them, and there's all these little symbols and stuff too, and I'll explain that when I show you how to play the game. And there's ones that have these circles on them. And there are some wild card ones here. Of course, now I can't find one offhand. Ah, there we go. And then there are wild card ones that are both, they could count either as a star or a circle on your turn. You also, when you play the game, you get cards. These are goal cards, and you can probably surmise by the pictures that are on there. You can see this one's got those 3 hexes that are stars and a circle in the middle. And depending on the goal cards that you have, you're trying to create that image using the hexes on the board, and then your opponent's doing the same and also trying to, like, make it so your diagram, if you will, doesn't show up. And you can play up to anything. The standard game is 2 players. You play up to whoever gets their 3rd goal card first wins. Now, it's quite possible that, like, both of you, due to the fact that, like, you can get lots of hexes out there until somebody actually scores, it's quite possible that both people have a diagram score at the same time. And so, like, if you're tied and you both reach 3, then, like, you play the first person to 4, and then if you tie again, that's, you know, so it's like overtime, if you will. But there's nuances to the game and what have you. I'm going to show you how to play all those out and give you a little quick rundown of how the game is played, and then, as always, come back here and tell you exactly what I think of the game, The Horrible Hex. Alright, cool. So, how to play Horrible Hex. Alright, these are the components for Horrible Hex. These are the cards that I was talking about that have these diagrams on them, that have the circles and the star, as you can plainly see in those. Each person gets 2 of those to start with, and when you score them, then you get new ones. So, like, this will be one player's cards over here, and that'll be another person's cards. And these are shown face up as you play the game. So you can actually see what the other person's going for, if you will. So then we take the rest of these. Get rid of them, because we're not going to be looking at them. You have these stacks of the hexes. You start the game by taking 3 of them, and you just make a triangle. And so we're just going to make one and just slap them down. So there we go. And I got a wide range here. So you make a little triangle like that. And I got a nice little wide range there of different things that you have. The icons determine how you can move that particular hex. An arrow, like you can see here, I'll just pull that up actually so you can see a little closer. See, you can see those arrows on either side. That means that you can move the hex in that direction when you do a move action, as long as the space is open. You also can't ever break apart the hexes. So a legal move would be like this, because then the things are still stuck together, if you will. You couldn't move this way because of the fact that there's a hex in the way. You can't move into that spot. Let me move these a little bit further away here. These things with the little circle or whatever, the half circle, that's a jump move. Now remember, you can only move in the spot that's located. So you could jump like this with this particular hex, like so. And you could just jump across like that. That's how that move works. Now, if you were in a situation like this, you can't jump because there's nothing to jump. So that wouldn't work in that particular move. Now, there's one other one here that you have, this double arrow that you can see down there. The double arrow will either work as a slide, like normal, where you just slide it down like that. However, if there was another hex, I'm just going to put one right there like that, the double arrow will actually push the other hex like so, and so they'd actually move it down like that in that particular direction. It can move any number of hexes as well, so it doesn't just move one. So that's how that particular, I'm just going to leave them in that little circle, or that little triangle right there. And so that's that movement. Now there's one other movement. I should find it for you so I can actually show what it is. Okay, there we go. It is a hex. You can see there's these two arrows there. So if we had that one there, that is a swap. And so, hey, look, I just made that one. But anyway, a swap just goes like this. You just swap the two that were in that spot. Obviously, if there's nothing there to swap, you can't do a swap move. Pretty straightforward, right? All right, so let's take this one back, put that one like so. And so that's our triangle to start the game. Now, each player, you just, I don't know, rock, paper, scissors, whatever, odds or evens, figure out who's going to be the starting player. And on your turn, you can either optionally do a move, if you want to. Oh, I should probably just slide that back in like that. Or you can, if you don't want to do a move, you can just draw a hex and put it down anywhere as long as it's attached to another hex. So if the first player is going, let's say, there's this player right here, they probably maybe don't even want to move because they want to try to make that particular, these are the first player and so forth. They want to make that one right there like I just did by accident. So maybe they won't do a move. So they're going to say, I'm doing no move, but I'll draw one, and they're going to hope for a star, and they get a wild, which actually is pretty good, and so they can go ahead and they place that wild there. And then, but placing a hex never can score for you. You actually have to do a move to get your score. And so then the next player goes, and they can look at what they have. You can see that, and they can try to think, well, how can I possibly make that particular design? And actually, now that I'm looking at it, so like, and this is, trust me, like I often we're just like, what, could I do that? And since they placed that there, I think I just actually scored a point, because what they can do is they can take this particular hex and they move it over to here. And because they did a move, they can now score. And so you can see star, circle, star, circle, star, circle, star, wild is a circle. So they have scored this card. Now, as soon as you score a card, you get to take that and you put it in front of you to show that you got that point. You get to draw another one, and you place that one in front of you as well, so you know what the next design is that you have to get. And then you immediately pick up all the hexes and you shuffle them all up again. And this is why I've used a like a dice bag to shuffle them up. So you put them in there, and then you draw 3 more, and you make another triangle, and there we go. And then the next person takes their turn. And then so now, once again, this person will have to go, well, it's like, maybe if I can get they got this design, so if they can somehow, get a star into this location there, they might be able to make that. And so then they go, okay, we're gonna, this one double move, it's not gonna push anything, but we're gonna just move it to that location. And then they draw one, they get another circle, that's not so good, but then they can place it in there like so. And the game just continues like that. You build up these designs. As soon as you score, you put the cards. As long as you get to 3, the first person who scores 3 cards wins the game. It's pretty straightforward. You can play to less points if you want. You can play to more points if you want. There's actually a solo version of the game too, where you just basically see how many of the cards you can complete in a certain number of moves, which, you know, is fun to kind of challenge yourself, and it's a good way to pass the time, as I have at my desk while I've been waiting for emails to come in so I can actually get some work done. So, but there you go. That's how you play Horrible Hex. It's not all that difficult, but it is a heck of a lot of fun, and it is very challenging, but I'll talk about more about that in my conclusion, which I'll do right now. So when I got this game, I said, all I have is a bunch of these little hexagons and these cards. Why do I get this giant box? It's my understanding that when the game is published, this will come in a smaller version. I actually, when I've played this, I actually just took one of my old Crown Royal bags that I have for my dice bags, and I just threw everything in there and threw these into like a little tiny carrying case so the cards didn't get messed up, and it works perfectly. It was one of those games that I took with me to like my local game store and I played it against people when we were getting ready, waiting for other people to show up or whatever. And I think this is one of those great travel games too, where because it takes like 3 minutes to teach somebody how to play, and then all that is left is like the strategy and the tactics, if you will, of the game. You know, the only thing that in my opinion, that would like make it like not good to like take to certain establishments or whatever, is the fact that these are cardboard. So if they got wet, you know, that'd be kind of rough. But I mean, you could take it camping, or take it on a car ride, or take it to your local pub, if you will, if you were like just wanted to be able to play a game like that. And if theoretically you were able to make these and make them out of wood or something, man, that'd be freaking awesome. That would be super cool. But anyway, so what do I like about the Horrible Hex? Well, like I've already touched on a few things. You can learn it in like about 3 minutes. And there's lots of games out there lately that I played that are easy to teach, easy to grasp, and all of a sudden, bam, it's competitive. It's you against the other person. And I really enjoy I think one of the things that's really come alive for me with two-player games is that the renaissance, if you will, is the fact that I no longer have to worry about what this Yahoo over here is doing and how they're going to make it easier for the guy across the table for me. And I don't have to worry about this guy just king-making and taking me out so this guy can win. It's just me against the other person, and, you know, just who can be, you know, better at a game. And I've been digging that, actually. It's so weird that actually I've kind of gotten into a more competitive mindset, if that makes any sense. I'm totally like, let's just play and who cares if I win kind of thing. But lately I've really gotten into, like, for better or for worse, really wanting to win games. And I found that, you know, having a two-player game, you can concentrate on that one opponent, and it's been kind of nice. So if you're a fan of two-player games, and if like maybe you're saying, yeah, Undead Viking, you moron, I've known that about two-player games for a long time, then fine, I've kind of woken up and realized how excellent this is. And then on the same side of the coin for you, this is definitely a game that I think you should pick up. I actually found myself likening this to a lot of other games. Like Hive came to an example, just the whole idea of how the hexes are moving around, a game that I really enjoy. And also, in a way, Tosh Kalar as well, which it was a game that I saw as being good, but I had trouble, and this is probably just me, I had trouble like wrapping the spatial situation where you're trying to look around the corner and trying to figure out how to match up the spots. And this has that a little bit, but you don't have to worry about special powers or anything like that. It's just really straightforward. You got to figure out how to make this diagram, and you have to, you know, get that point. And the thing that I really like about it is that the whole process of the fact that when you place a tile, that can't get you a point. You don't get to check what it looks like at that point to earn yourself a card. So when you place a tile, you have to figure out how to put it someplace where you're not giving the other person the point. So if you're following me, the first part of your turn is trying to score. So you're looking at all the different possibilities, all the different moves, all the different ideas that you could do possibly to get you that point. The second part of your turn, the mandatory part, is trying as hard as you can not to put your hex anywhere that can actually help your opponent. And then if you're smart enough to think another step and another move ahead, how can I put it in a place where it won't help them, but as long as nothing gets messed with too much, I'll be able to use it on my turn when it's my turn again. And I have, I've mentioned this in a few reviews, the whole like weird crinkly mind feeling where I'm like, I know like I'm like the neurons are trying to fire as fast as possible and I'm trying to figure things out. I like that feeling. I like it when a game does that for me, and this game does that in spades. So if you like two-player games, you like the abstract, if you're a fan of those games I mentioned, like Hive or Tosh Kalar, I really think any of those things, if any of those things are up your alley, definitely check out the game and see whether or not you think it would be good for you and your sparring partner of choice, if you will. So there you go. That's Horrible Hex. If you have any questions, by all means, please mention those. I will answer those to the best of my ability. Yeah, thank you very much, as always, for taking the time to watch this video. And until next time, this is me, Undead Viking, telling you to have yourself one heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye now.